Alright, welcome to another episode of Alvin and the Bradys. This is episode 35. So yeah, in the last episode we were talking about, that direct-to-video TV film, Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman, and you know how Eleanor, I didn't think she was very nice to Theodore after he changed. So, that's how I saw episodes of the Chipettes back in 2009. I mean, I was still a big fan of the Chipmunks, but, some of the episodes where they included the Chipettes as well, sometimes I would actually feel sorry for the Chipmunks, the boy Chipmunks here too, because, the Chipettes were being big show-offs and stuff like that. But anyway, last time, I was talking about this. There was another direct-to-video of, those movies actually first aired on USA Network. But there's this direct-to-video film. I think it came out in 2004. It was called Little Alvin and the Mini Monks. And it had a so about Little Alvin and the Mini Monks. So that was like their next thing. It actually wasn't even, a cartoon. They had like puppets made in the likeness of the three chipmunks, and it had the Chipettes in there as well too. And the chipmunks and the Chipettes, it was like they were like preschool aged. They were like preschool aged, and of course, I actually didn't get to see that video until like later in 2009 because it wasn't on the internet. But anyway, it was good. It was good. Theodore was dressed in overalls instead of his, so anyway, they were supposed to be in the like the Chipmunks and the Chipettes were supposed to be like they were like preschool aged, kind of like, Muppet Babies stuff. But, I told you before that the Alvin and the Chipmunks, since the 80s series came out, were a Muppet Babies version of the Brady Bunch. But, this movie, anyway, it basically had puppets, and they looked, very similar to, the Puzzle Place puppets. That was a show that aired back in the early 90s when I was real little. I really like that show. But that's what the Chipmunks looked like, and But basically, they were real young preschoolers. The Chipmunks and the Chipettes were real young preschoolers, and they had moments where, Brittany wanted to keep this, I guess, coin, and she also, wanted to play with Jeanette's easy bake oven and eat her lipstick, and basically Theodore put toys in the toilet and basically broke the toilet, creator Janice Carmen was in that movie, who voiced the Chipettes, and she played Lalu, and of course, Dave played himself, so, and, it kind of, when I watched this episode, it kind of seemed like, the Chipmunks and the Chipettes were actually living together in that episode. Alvin gets upset when Dave leaves in that movie. But, as I was saying before, the Chipmunks and both the Chipmunks and Chipettes were like living. It seemed like to me that they were living together in the same house. But they didn't refer to them as the Chipmunks didn't refer to them as their sisters. Like, they just referred to them as the Chipettes, but I felt, that's when I felt, that all, not just Alvin, Simon, and Theodore were considered the Chipmunks. All 6 characters were considered the Chipmunks, but at that point I had nothing to do with the Brady Bunch just yet. So, I had gave me kind of a change of heart for the Chipettes, and of course, I didn't find out. And of course, I still, I was excited about, Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel coming out. But, the Chipettes did seem, a little, nicer to the Chipmunks in that video. But, it was a whole different ball game. They weren't the same Chipettes and Chipmunks you see on the TV shows. No, they weren't, And I just prefer the TV show better than the live action films that they had. But, I did watch the Squeakquel and, got to see, the girls. But of course, they didn't wear any shoes or anything. But anyway, I was still, even when I saw those movies, I was still very curious about, the rest of the show. I wanted to see more of the Alvin show segments that aired back in the 60s, but, a lot of them, weren't available on, a lot of them weren't uploaded to the internet at the time, and like seasons 1 through 5 episodes of the 80s series were available to watch on the internet too. But a lot of like season 6 through 8, a lot of those episodes, I actually found out they haven't been airing on television for a while, and a lot of people didn't, I guess have them uploaded. And even if they were available to watch, a lot of those episodes were in a different language, unfortunately. So, I didn't get to, I didn't really get to see all the episodes of Alvin and the Chipmunks, the '80s series, because of that, because a lot of the 6 through 8 episodes were not available to watch on the internet at the time, and even if they were available, that they were in like a different language, like German or Italian or Ukraine or Russian or stuff like that. Kind of broke my heart too, because I thought maybe the best thing was, to get it, on television. But they didn't, want to air the classic episodes on. But a lot of channels didn't, have the classic episodes. I tried to get Boomerang, but especially since they didn't air commercials, at the time, I thought maybe they'd start. I thought maybe they'd start airing the episodes, and I thought that was the best way to get to see all the episodes, but that never happened. I still hope to see all the classic episodes of Alvin and the Chipmunks. So anyway, when I found out about the well, that's about it for this video. So anyway, I'm gonna, in the next video, we're gonna go over how exactly, how the Brady Bunch answers a lot of questions about, about how, about the Chip Acts, and, just maybe, all six characters of the Chipmunks. So we'll see you I'll see everyone in the next video. Thanks, bye.